Hello and welcome back to our continuing adventures on the Let's Defend platform. We are working inside of the Incident Response Beta program. We have 3 more events to run through. Today we are going to focus on the next event ID in series. So that's going to be event ID 96 for SOC149, index page changed unexpectedly. Flagged July 29th, 2021, 1:31 p.m. So it looks like what? We've got a WordPress system and the index.html in var www html WordPress was changed. There is a hacked text in the file. I think someone broke in. Oh, well, goody. All right, so that's WordPress, I think, was all the way down at the bottom. All right, let's just take a look at the rest of this stuff. So this was, I'm fairly certain I grabbed notes already. Let me just double check. Yes, so we are looking for anything that would have occurred on the 29th. For what? July, right? Which would be 7. Okay, so much as with the previous video, this is in beta. There are no apparent logs in anything yet. We are basically just doing all this IR work just straight from the box itself. So whatever log files are there is what we're going to end up working with. Yeah, so this is all stuff that hasn't been updated, but that's okay. It's beta. So we're going to go ahead and fire up the connection. And in order to cut back on runtime, I'm going to pause this until I am connected in. So back in a second. Okay, we are back and we are into the WordPress system as analyst. Is it host name or is it what, localhost? That doesn't help me much. Okay, so we have supposedly let's take a look and run cat of var www html WordPress and then index.html. Permission denied. Okay, how about we do sudo cat, which just says hacked. No HTML code, just hacked. Well, okay then. Oh, what is it? CD log, right? No. Crap, why am I having such a brain fart? Or is it var log? There we go. Okay, so it looks like much like the other one, everything is done as a .1 for the old stuff. So if we go and sudo cat, what is it, auth.log.1, we get this whole shebang. So let's see, the 14th looks like the system was stood up. Runs through, authentication failure, blah, 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 blah. So let's see, at apt update, apt install php curl, and then Apache 2, Ghost script, MySQL, and the like. New user, MySQL. Let's see, update, install the rest, restart Apache. let's just see here. Yep, Apache 2 sites available, WordPress config, var www WordPress PHP. So somebody screwed around with WordPress there. Because the time of the alert was what now? Was 1:31. So it's going to be 13:31. At least when it was noticed. So before that, what do we have? I mean, we got, again, root logging in. But okay, can we do ls var? Oops, wrong window. ls var www WordPress. Okay, back. Keep popping it off to go back. So, okay, what was I doing with this? Oh yeah, I want to cat out the or no, I want to everything for cannot open. Okay, can we do a sudo ls and we get all of that good stuff. So sudo, actually just do this. It'd be a little bit quicker. Sudo cat var WordPress wp config .php. Okay, let's take a look. Database table. Wait, wait. Really? DB user, WordPress user, DB password. Really? WordPress user and then password of password. What the? Oh, that is terrible. Oh, that is just so terrible. I'm just gonna go ahead and jot that down in a note. So that file denotes that it is WordPress user and the password is password. Somebody explain to me how that's any good. Although, honestly, if you have access to the box, you can just go through and do that. So I don't suppose here that we've got anything else. Debug, include files defined. Okay, so let's do this. So we're looking for WP settings. So let's cat that out. Okay, and what do we have? Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. It's like I got a WordPress site myself. I just don't ever dig into this stuff. Of course, it's also managed because I just don't feel like having to deal with the whole aspect of just constantly screwing with this stuff and worrying about it. So it's just easier just to pay somebody else. That way, if something breaks or we have a security incident, I've got somebody I can yell at. Okay, so Pomo error class blah blah blah. Let's just see if anything here stands out. If we go back, So Apache 2. All right, so let's see. And then what I want to look up in the background is because I am pulling the stupid. Where is the Apache 2? Oh, var log Apache 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, var log. So do we? Yes, we have. Okay, so Apache 2. Permission denied. Sudo. Okay, fine. Sudo ls Apache 2. Access error other vhosts access. Okay, so sudo cat. Oops. Apache 2 access.log. No such file. Okay, fine. Slash var slash log apache 2 access.log. Var log Apache 2. No such. Okay, what the hell am I doing wrong here? I can't go into it. So can we just do sudo nano? Actually, you have this whole thing here. Bingo! Oh, cripe. And of course, then we get a massive flippin' text dump. Kind of wish I could just kind of pull those things down. Okay, so we have the 29th. Fave icon, PNG. This comes the fun part. I'm just kind of looking through all this crap. All right, let's go all the way down to the bottom and we'll work our way up. Post WordPress admin 200 theme admin ajax.php. This is what, 1345, so this would have been after the fact. $42, $42, $39. I'm just looking through all this, trying to find the magic that which will tell us who done it. Oh, what is it? Grep index.html. Okay, this makes it a little bit more manageable. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to copy this, and what I'll probably end up doing is pausing the video while I go through and digest this to denote anything else that just kind of pops into my head here. But as I'm looking, I somehow managed to misplace an empty. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we come back over here, we paste this in here. So let's see. 193.176.84.234. That's not the local box, right? No, that's a 17. Okay, let's do this. Can we do, instead of that, can we do grep hacked? And I know I'm probably just getting duplication, but we'll space it out and so I can take a look at it in my notes elsewhere. Are we getting anything different? Because this looks like this is all 134419, whereas the alert was raised at 1331. So I mean, realistically, we are looking for something before this point. Unless the timing is all wrong. Because this looks like what? They just tried to run WordPress. Okay, let's do CMD. Because that seems to be the repeated. So $CMD. Okay, now this might be something we can use. Maybe. Maybe. God. Okay. And the benefit is with that, okay, remind me. 31. Because I see in here from the same, the 193.176.84.234, granted, after the alert was raised, WordPress with the command who am I, WordPress exploit who am I, WordPress 404 who am I. I'm seeing a whole metric butt ton of question mark CMD equals who am I. And then we get down to 44 minutes after, the whole aspect of command equals echo %20 hacked %20, which I think that's what the URL encoding for slash. So then what would we be looking for? We would be looking for anything to make mention of 193. Okay, so I grabbed the auth log. Does the auth log contain anything for 193.176.84.239 or 234? It does not appear to be the case. So it looks like we've got 3.16.146.0. God, I shudder to think as to what the MySQL password would be. Uh, I mean, we've already popped out the config. All right, so we don't have anything there. Okay, well, just for metaphorical shits and or giggles. Giggles and or shits. Let's take this and see if there is anything we can pull from this in relation to the IP address we have that seems to be way extremely interested in WordPress slash question mark cmd equals echo hacked index.html. Let's see, Romania. Poor email rep, block lists, but doesn't really tell us a whole heck of a lot else. We got anything? It was bots. January 2019. What did this? Well, I'm assuming bots at some particular point. This no, that's still 2019. Okay, well that doesn't help a whole heck of a lot. Anything from OTX? Nada. Well, bugger all. Anything on VT? According to this, it's clean. So it could be somebody else that's looking at it. Of course, it's not like I end up having to do this all that often involving WordPress. But it is marked that it is on a drone BL. Oh, drone blacklist, duh. Oh, cripe. Command hacked index. So we basically, instead of doing cat, can we just do nano and see if anything else shakes? Actually, no. What was, you take a look at error. Sure. Let's see if anything stands out there. Okay, what do we have? Blah, 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 blah. Core error, permission denied. Client 176 dot. Okay, so they were looking for anything there. But that would be after. This, though, would be immediately beforehand, 17640. so we're just gonna go ahead and grab this. So the Romanian one might just be a false flag. Somebody that's found it after the fact, assuming that we're going that this is entirely on the ball. So the 176, everything else like that. If we go back, access, grep, oh, 176.40.37, 158. What do we have? Whoa! Someone's been busy. WP login, logged out, true. Profile underneath the WP admin. Holy crap, I didn't realize it'd be this much in it. WordPress 404, WOR 404. This is all on the 29th. Install, install, install. Still on the 29th. And that's effectively all it is all the way through, just on the 29th. Functions 2021. Hello world. Is that the sign for the new one? Okay, let's just do this. So we've taken a look, Romania, that's on everybody's crap list, but, or just on just about no one's crap list, excuse me. Just bad email. Istanbul, Turkey. Okay, well, I mean, let's just look at everything equally and see what shakes out. Wow, I'm kind of amazed. I got a vacuum cleaner running up above me. I should probably pause this so that way there's not a whole bunch of background noise while I'm doing this. Cripe. Same thing with the Romanian IP. We are looking at poor email rep, but a neutral. Is this semi-sorta? Well, bots, 2016. After that, it's all just dynamic. And absolutely nothing from OTX. Okay, well, we're the shot. But we don't have anything here that really stands out in terms of, you know, that they done popped her. Because it's all logged out, logged out, logged out, logged out, blah, 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 blah. I suppose the other aspect that we could do is search for WP-login to see as to whether or not if somebody or how many references we have to this if somebody was able to log in. I mean, we're just basically going to choke on the amount of data that's there. And this is all before the 31st. So we got the Romanian ones, get WordPress WP admin, and the stuff has never been changed, so we're probably screwed all over that one. But yeah, we have a bunch of these where Reauth 1, redirect to. Maybe I don't know exactly what it is I'm actually looking at with all this. Because it looks like, yeah, it just same thing over and over and over again. So here's a question. Let's just go ahead and pop this because, again, I'm no WordPress expert. But if I pop that in and we just kind of leave a opening. I mean, do we get anything here? Oh, okay, so it's just, okay, they're trying to hit that, or WP login, and it's just redirecting them to WP admin to do the login. Okay, so that's not really telling us anything then. Logged out true. Action log out. They hit. Yeah, so 176, that's what, the Turkey one? Yeah, Turkey. So it looks like they were actually setting up WordPress to begin with. Alright, I'm going to continue to hike around, but in the interest of time, I'm going to pause and see as to whether or not if I can try to figure something, if anything, else out. Still looking into everything. I think I've been paused for probably 10 minutes, but going through and doing last-f/var/log/wtmp. Apparently I see on the 29th we had root was the only one logged in. Before that, on the 14th, we had analyst Ubuntu logged in, and then obviously it looks like it was rebooted today, and then we have the analyst login as it sits, and then going through and looking at, oh, what was it? BTMP.1 using the same last. I've got the 14th pulled out from there. And then looking at the just regular BTMP, we have, it's basically just a bunch of stuff for today as I'm recording, so September 6th. So nothing there that really helps a whole heck of a lot. It looks like we had root logged in at the particular time, but much more than that. Still digging, still working. Okay, so if we go back and actually take a look at the file that started it all, the hacked index.html, looks like the user is 33, along with the user group is 33, as opposed to like root or www-data or MySQL. So I gotta try to figure out where is or what is this 33. Going through and doing last log does not seem to give us a 33, so I think I probably go have to take a look at oh, what is it? The shadow and the other file, the past WD. See as to whether or not what can shake out from there. All right, so looking at this, by looking at etc group and grepping for 33, it looks like that is www-data. So if we just do to confirm sudo cat etc passwd pipe grep 33, we get a confirmation that www-data is 33. So I guess of all things, that's not too stinking terrible. I don't suppose we could do, what, sudo passd s www.data. So it's created 4/30/2021. Okay, so it looks like www.data is the responsible party for at least creating the file. Which would mean what? Because if it's never been used to log in, right? Because we got the MySQL. Yeah, www.data never logged in. So I'm assuming that's just being used by the Apache process. Right? Maybe? Or maybe that's something that stood up when... I'm assuming it's going to be something to do with either Apache or WordPress. So they would have access. So at some particular point, something must have told it. I'm assuming WordPress itself. So which means we probably need to go back to redirecting and looking inside those WordPress or what available WordPress logs we have for someone to go through and have done something to screw with this stuff. Because there was two there. Well, yeah, there's a WordPress there too. And that one just has an index.html. So it's almost like someone stood up a second. Because that's www, and then we end up with the second one that's in HTML, and then so if we go cd HTML, and then we end up with the WordPress there, and that is where we find the index.html. So this WordPress, can we do, what is it, LSANH WordPress? Yeah, all created for www data. course, the interesting thing is, okay, we get the alert for this whole exercise. This whole thing was raised at 13:31. But yet, if we look at index.html, I mean, that's the 29th. Yeah, sure, but that's 13:44. Or it could be something like the index.php or something like that was screwed up. But let me go continue digging in this vein, see what we find. Oh, good lord. Okay, so I think I found it. They utilized the inside of the WordPress folder, the question mark command equals echo %20 hacked %20% da 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 da. Well, if you go by URL encoding, what you end up with that is, so it's doing git WordPress command echo hacked and then the into index.html. So they sat there and utilized WordPress command to actually sit there and dump that stuff in there. And since this would have all been running as www-data, so this would have been a configuration issue with WordPress to allow that stuff to be visible from the internet. It's basically just sitting there staring me straight in the face the entire stinking time, jumping down all this stuff. But you can tell how often I have to sit there and worry about compromised WordPress websites. It's not part of the usual repartee. But so that explains as to how that was created then. So that was created from the, if memory serves me right, the Romanian IP address, the 193.176.84.234. So somebody external using the, what appears to be the Safari web browser, sat there and kicked that stuff off. If I'm reading that right. So I think we have what we need to go through and answer the questions. Maybe, possibly. See as to whether or not if I do any better this time than last time. Oh, I guess I'm kind of glad that it's beta, so it doesn't sit there and end up screwing up the points I've thus accumulated so far. But I think we found enough. Yeah, we've done that. The initial method. Exploit public-facing application, assuming that that's what we're going to count. I think I have initial access opened. Yes. Public-facing application. So standard services, open sockets, external services, which would be what? VPN, Citrix, other mechanisms. Yeah, I'm going to assume that's exploit public-facing application. And I could be entirely wrong, but let's just go with that. Persistent method for the attack. There was no real persistence for their access that I could see. They just piped the word hacked into an index.html file. They didn't create an account. They didn't create a scheduled task. I mean, would it count as a... Would you really count it as a web shell? I mean, they're limited to whatever data they could dump on there. This is where I show the weakness that I have with MITRE. I mean, because all they did was create a file. So the whole aspect of doing the pipe, I'm just gonna say none. Privilege escalation? No, this was all stuff that was built in, at least I think. What technique was used in the credential access? They didn't have to do any of that. They didn't have to log in. They just found the site, found that asterisk CMD was still available, and coded the stuff to go through and create it. So, I mean, they didn't use creds. They used weakness in WordPress. I wonder if that's still there. Just gonna say none. Artifacts. So we have what? We have an IP address from that. I guess technically we would have MD5 of the file. So that's the hacked index.html. That was what? The IP address per... Actually, that's just Apache 2 access log. Because it's the same IP that we have. Okay, so we have, there's the IP, and we need to generate the, oh, what is it? Is it MD5? Actually, you're going to have to probably do sudo MD5 sum. This is what, we're in HTML, so it would be WordPress index.html. Got it. Not that that tells us a whole heck of a lot, but I guess we could sit there and search across the entire environment for anything that would be with that. So we're going to say attacker used / WordPress cmd equals to echo act into index.html so that we can grab the what we had in the notepad that I had up there to denote it. Analyst note, finish playbook, and let's see as to how badly. Oh, screw it. A little bit too protective. Okay, so all that stuff's in there. We're gonna see how bad this sucks. Or how terrible I did in terms of mapping everything. It is a true positive. I could have probably just copied and pasted that whole thing in there. So we're just gonna do that. Well, I got that part right. How badly did I flub? The only thing I got right was the privilege escalation. We got the IP address and the access log. The attacker logged into wp-admin and edited the functions.php. Huh. Well, that's an epic fail on my part. Oh well, I never said I was going to be the best at any of this. But really? They logged into... Oh, now I want to take a look at this. So functions.php should have been edited. Okay, that's fine. So what if we do sudo ls redpress? Do we get the functions? Yeah, we found logged into and edited functions.php. So, okay, if we go back to access log, and according to them, we're going to grep for 193.176, and then we're going to grep theme editor.php, if I spell it right. So we got them the 29th at 31, 404.php. Theme editor 404. And that's all post. Archive.php. And we supposedly have them logging in. So what if we just do this instead of that? So we go wp admin. Just to pop it out and see as to... Jeez. So much data. So they get in there, yeah, so they see it, they get it. I'm just seeing a bunch of redirect. Guess you need to go back through and take a look to see as to whether or not... I mean, what out of all this tells us that it was that they successfully logged in? I mean, because that's the redirect in order to go to WP admin. But where is it that it says in all of this that, yeah, it worked? Because this is, they want reauth. I might have to go back and do a little bit more searching again for the whole aspect of time, something to denote a successful login in the logs. So let me pause this and I'll come back. Okay, still looking through everything, but I did do the find as was denoted for the walkthrough. So apparently at /var/www/html/wordpress/wp-content/themes/2021/functions.php there is the portion for echo shell exec. So the question is, was this staring me at the face and I just did not understand it? I still have no idea how to actually denote that somebody was able to sit there and log in, but that seems to denote the shell there, at least from the find command. But that ultimately does not really. Because the file is created at 44, right? Yeah. I'm going back through and looking at the question mark command grep for the Apache 2 access log. And the PWD was 404, but who am I successfully ran at 42 after. Yeah, it still does not help me a whole hell of a lot to understand fully what occurred with all of this. But I mean, I do see the whole aspect for they made ls at 42. They were able to run PWD that actually worked. What was the difference? Oh, because they did /WordPress/test. Okay, so they found what they needed to do from there. They were able to sit there and do cat etc password. Still entirely lost as to what would be denoted for a WordPress login. But at least that's what I've found thus far, following their stuff. So we do have confirmation of the modification for functions.php to kick out the shell. Okay, so if I'm reading the documentation correctly, it should be in the Apache 2 access log. So I'm doing a grep as was outlined for 193.176, a grep for wp-admin, a grep for wp-login, and a grep for 200. Supposedly with that stuff in there, 200 would denote invalid creds, and then if we change it around, instead of 300 to 302, oh, well, that's a kick to the pants. So if we just forget all that and just say grep 302, if we change that, WP login, I'll say then they would have logged in at 31. Yeah, if I'm reading that right, then so at the very top, does it denote the redirect failed? And that would have been at 4 seconds. Although at 3 we have Although I would think that this one here, that would be 29 seconds in after 31. Because that's 4, 4, 5. 27, 27, 29, all failed. And then so we'd be at 29, and then we'd have 29 exactly where it would actually hit. So post WP login PHP 302. Okay. Well, I guess this is why we have services like this, right? Go through and learn as we go. Because I sure as hell could use most of this as an assistance as this stuff goes through. So apparently that's something on Stack Exchange. If it's a post slash wp dot ph or wp-login.php and it goes to a 200, it's invalid creds. Whereas if it's a post to slash wp-login, like what we have here, and then it is valid creds would lead to 302. So that's okay. Well, that's actually really good to know. At least on the basis. What I will do is, because this is all learning for me as well, I'm going to grab that and I am just going to denote that I'm just going to make a notes section. Much like with the normal exercises for things that would help with that. Okay, so we've got the login, but then how do we explain the modifications to any of this? So can we do the same thing, but so we do the grep for that, and then we do functions.php to try to get an understanding as to what that all denotes. So he's got the editor. Theme editor 2021. So I'm looking for something here. But yeah, so he's using theme editor to sit there and screw around with that. Yes. Although it does not denote all of the additional or the modifications that he would have made. Okay. So can we do a sudo cat since this is supposedly what was adjusted from the attacker, and the web shell's supposedly in here. We just have to dig through there and see if we can find what we can find. Because at some particular point it should denote echo shell underscore exec. Ah, function web shell. There it is. Add action wb underscore head. grab that. I'm going to stick that underneath there. There. So got that all put together then inside. So I guess the big thing that should have been pointing this way would have been the amount of times that the functions.php showed up in the logs. Much less the theme editor for functions. So then in order to find that particular aspect, we would have to what? Sudo WordPress. Oh, duh. It doesn't help much. You gotta do ls for directory listing. So we would get this, but then we don't have anything else. We just have that it's a theme, or would it actually be WP admin? The WP content. And then we'd have to kind of derive from the theme editor then. And then from there, we would have to denote the 2021. And then we would have all that. So could we do, in order to find out the access time for that, could we do dash lsnh? So we're looking for a denotion for functions, which would be, again, the 29th. I feel like I'm missing some particular aspect. I mean, because that's what I find interesting, is that you have /var/www/html. So, and we have the index, so, which looks like the typical Apache. But if we go back to the root for www, then you have WordPress and you have HTML. Oh, very short time period of this thing being stood up, and then basically just stuff going sideways. Complete and total sideways. Because it's still the 29th of July at 13:28. And you end up with the same thing for HTML, and you end up with the same thing for WordPress. Oh well. I never said I was a great IR person for much less Linux and then the whole thing with WordPress. But hey, I'm making an attempt. Dang it. I'm making an attempt. Okay, so it looks like all this stuff falls inside of line of what they're saying is on the mark. Basically screwed myself on all the extra points, but again, this is beta, so. So let's see, I lost 5 as opposed to just a complete and total wash from last time, which was what? That was down 15 points. Oy vey. Oh well. But so there we go. That was again the IR beta exercise for SOC149. Index page changed unexpectedly. Event ID 96 for July 29th, 2021 at 1:31 p.m. I will see everyone in the next video and hopefully a better attempt at IR on a Linux platform.